been said that a person's character is defined by how a person handles life's troubles.
I love this community. So many dear friends here.
We're a small town, and everybody helps everybody.
Oklahomans step up and step up quickly, and it's really the best characteristic of what it is to be in Oklahoma.
We've seen the character of Oklahoma. Its resilience, its strength, its courage, its love, its compassion.
I'm very proud to be from Oklahoma and from Oklahoma City.
Just put your faith back in humanity when you see the good things that people are doing for others, even though they're hurt as well.
The Oklahoma spirit, or as we used to call it, maybe they're both one and the same now, the Oklahoma standard, is alive and well in Oklahoma, and it is a gift.
Oklahomans don't sit back.
They show up when it matters most.
This is a land of hard work and heart.
It's a state full of people who, when faced with unimaginable tragedy,
Didn't look the other way. They faced it.
and stood together in its aftermath.
This is why we run to remember.
Smoke billowing from the federal court building downtown, and there's debris, glass, building matter spread on several downtown blocks. It looks as though emergency crews are on the scene trying to block off some downtown streets. Some workers are out of their building, and we can see glass blown out of other downtown offices. About 5 blocks away, the explosion around 9 a.m. and West Field, the explosion.
You are anywhere downtown, you probably heard it and felt it. An explosion of some kind downtown. Oklahoma City, take a look at this picture. Robin, have you got some more information?
They're just saying that it was near the YMCA, and apparently there are numerous injuries.
All across the Oklahoma City metropolitan area, and perhaps other places as well. Numerous injuries. Heidi was talking about injured children. There have been, I have seen several injured children.
Daycare center was on the second floor. The children's play lot was between the federal building and the federal courthouse, a block to the south. So the daycare center was on the second floor.
Yes, you are right. We are getting that confirmation here as well.
The large church at the corner of 4th and Hardy, all the stained glass windows have been blown out.
We talked to a man just a few minutes ago, perhaps you saw a little earlier when we came live to downtown, who had been rescuing children. People still walking around dazed, confused, many of them bloodied, smoke still rising from the rubble of the Alfred Murrah building.
This is just devastating.
This had broken the national news barrier, and there was a lot going on and a lot of people coming in. What I was concerned about, of course, was we had 1,000 firefighters in Oklahoma City and 1,000 police officers. But that big office building blown in half, with all of the casualties that we anticipated, we were going to need help. And fortunately, the help was organized and the help was brought to our side, and we got right to work.
Went from a beautiful April morning to really not only a tragic day for Oklahoma City, but the weather turned awful. And we put out a notice, not sure what would happen, that we could use maybe some rubber gloves and some boots, or just help firemen as they were wearing out all their equipment. And we had a checkpoint at 10th and I think it was Robinson or Walker in that area, where you could bring items. People just brought stuff in carloads.
The response to the tragic events in Oklahoma City showed us what this nation is truly about. It showed us how people, when faced with the most terrible of tragedies, can join together to overcome that tragedy. And I have rarely witnessed so many acts of courage and dedication and commitment to helping people as I saw in Oklahoma City. Federal, state, and local workers who in spirit, in spite of having lost their co-workers and friends, summoned the strength to help other people and family members.
The feelings of the rescuers, I think, is best summed up in a note I got from the Fairfax County team. And they wrote, "We'll never forget our time in Oklahoma City. We're still healing and searching for the reason why someone could do something this evil to people that are so good. Now whenever we find ourselves angry over something, we think about the people of Oklahoma, and our anger abates. Whenever we're asked about what we did there, the answer always includes meeting the most wonderful people in the country. We'd like to thank the people of Oklahoma City for reminding us of what being an American really means."
How did the marathon come to be? So, I mean, I don't know how long a story you want. It's kind of a long story, you know?
Well, it's an interesting story because Chet Collier and I were training for what would be my first marathon, the Cincinnati Flying Pig Marathon. And like I said, I had 2 years of getting him ready. And as you get closer to the marathon, those training runs get really long on the weekend. So I think we were out for like a 20-mile run. It takes a little bit of time. And
we're coming down the home stretch. We lived in Quail Creek. We ran over to Cassidy, did the loop of the lake, and we're coming out. And it was, they were talking about the memorial was about to open.
And I was ranting about the fact that we had to go to another city to run a marathon. There was no marathon in Oklahoma City, and most major cities had a marathon. And so, why didn't Oklahoma City have a marathon? We should have our own marathon. After some amount of me ranting, Chet knew me well enough to know that something was going to happen with that.
My brain goes, oh, we're going to do this. He's going to have to start a marathon. It's just the way he is.
And so, kind of out of exasperation, he just stopped in his tracks and he said, "Fine, we'll put on a marathon here, but it has to be for the memorial." And that was really the genesis of the entire idea. And quite frankly, by the time we finished that run, we had talked through all the things that really make the Memorial Marathon what it is. The fact that we were going to run people through the historic neighborhoods and the parts of Oklahoma City that we're really proud of. We were going to begin and end at the memorial. But the idea of honoring the people who had fallen in the bombing and putting their names along the course, all of that happened on that run in that first morning.
And we put together a proposal, you know, pictures, ideas, beautifully written, handed it off to the memorial, and they said, "Well, we like the idea, we'll get back to you." So we are actually just about to go run this first marathon for him in Cincinnati. And we get the call and said, "We're going to give you the marathon." So it's like a dog chasing the car. Oh, we caught it. What do we do now? You know?
In addition to the 168 lives that were lost, there's over 500 people injured in the event, but then literally tens of thousands of people directly affected. And there really gets to be a question really quickly, what do you do with that? You know, what do we as a city do with that? How do we process that? How do we grieve? How do we heal? How do we honor these people?
That having people out on the streets in spring, you know, around the anniversary time of the bombing, would be a way that we could remember and that we could honor, and that we could bring people to Oklahoma City and introduce them to the Oklahoma way and the city and the spirit of how we recovered from that and how we've gone on and built on top of that. And so, if you haven't run a marathon, it's tough.
I mean, nothing compares to your first, but I was hurting a little more today. I almost didn't have enough energy to celebrate, but you know, you can't help it.
It's tough for anybody, even people who run them a lot, and it's tough because your body is really not suited to going that far. You have to train hard, and then you really have to push through those last miles.
It's amazing. So many people come out from the local area, so many guys on the start line, and it's great to just be out here and get all the competition together.
And like of all the races that I've done, this one really feels like all of Oklahoma just kind of comes together for one big event.
There's just really no getting around the fact that the end of the marathon is going to be hard. And we thought going through that physical exertion, the training and having to prepare and be anticipating that, and then being out on the course and experiencing that physical difficulty as we're seeing the names of the people who had fallen.
Seeing the signs, seeing all this stuff was just really emotional.
And it's just a very stark reminder of how many people it impacted, but then I think simultaneously, but look at all the good that has come from a really terrible, terrible event.
You know, when I see the starting line and the enormous crowd of sea of people, and when we're all there, you know, having that 168 seconds of silence, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that people are remembering. I'm grateful that people are thinking about these people that lost their lives and their families. I'm just really grateful. I'm grateful for all the changes we've seen in Oklahoma City.
It changed so many lives here in Oklahoma and really across the United States and in some ways even the world.
The running community is the most nurturing and encouraging community out there. And when you're in the last 6 miles of a marathon and the wall is real, I can't tell you how many people will just, come on man, let's do it, I'll run with you.
Because I think it's just you've gone through this emotional journey, and I think it connects us with our history, because now it's been quite a while. There's a lot of people that are running the marathon who weren't even alive when the bombing occurred, but we're keeping that memory of how we responded to that event and how that event did not take us down. In fact, it lifted us up as a community.
The future is bright for our city, the future is bright for our state, and again, it all comes back to the people here, the wonderful people of Oklahoma.
I think it's just really important that Oklahoma City continues to honor those who were killed and those who were survived and those who were changed forever, but also that we kind of carry the message of the event out to the nation and the world, which understandably tends to forget history a little bit.
This is not where a winner gets paid, and that's what I love when we start seeing people from all over the world wanting to come to Oklahoma City, and then they come back to Oklahoma City because they understand this marathon is really something different.
You have to share it with the next generation. You know, I'm the mother of 2 daughters, 24 and 20. They don't remember, they don't know. And so it's really incumbent upon those of us that lived in Oklahoma City and lived through that moment to share that experience with them so we never forget.
He's showing the emotion.
Yes!
There it is.